What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into something absolutely insane. We've all had those days at work where things just don't go right. But I promise you, you have never seen anything like this. I have scoured the entire internet to find the most unbelievable, the most hilarious, and the most epic worker fails ever caught on camera. We're talking about mistakes so big you won't believe they actually happened. From tiny errors that lead to massive chaos to moments of pure, unfiltered workplace disaster, we have it all. This is going to be the craziest compilation of you had one job moments you have ever witnessed. Get ready to laugh, cringe, and maybe even feel a little bit better about your own work mistakes. Before we jump into the first fail, I have a challenge for you. Go down to the comments right now and tell me the biggest blunder you've ever made at your job. Alright, kicking things off with an absolute classic of workplace destruction. Imagine this, massive warehouse, bigger than a football field, towering stacks of products. Your job, move boxes from point A to point B with a forklift. What could possibly go wrong? For this guy, absolutely everything. One split second and he turns the place into the world's most expensive game of dominoes. Tiny miscalculation, catastrophic and honestly hilarious. He's approaching a colossal wall of boxes. Stacked to the ceiling, thousands and thousands of dollars. He just needs to nudge one pallet out. He inches forward, maybe a little too fast. Maybe he turns the wheel just a bit too sharply. The moment he realizes his mistake. The forklift clips the corner of the shelf. The structure wobbles. Time seems to slow. Please, no, please, no. Gravity is undefeated. And then it happens. The first shelf starts to lean, chain reaction. One shelf tips into the next, which tips into the next, and the next. A tidal wave of cardboard and shattered products. Boom! It keeps going and going. The sound, probably deafening. One wrong turn brings down an entire aisle. Imagine his face inside that cab, watching his career flash before his eyes. Final shot, pure devastation. Okay, from warehouse destruction. We move on to something a little more artistic. Our next fail features a painter who was just trying to do his job. He's got a fresh, clean room to paint, and a giant industrial-sized bucket of white paint. He's probably thinking about how great this room is going to look when he's done. The scene is set. The painter carefully places the massive bucket of paint right in the middle of the room. It's probably holding what, 5 gallons? 10 gallons? That's a lot of paint. He turns around to grab a roller. Taking a step backward without looking. You can see it coming in slow motion. His heel catches the edge of the bucket. For a split second, the bucket teeters on the brink, a precarious balance between a clean job and total disaster. With a glorious deep glug, the entire bucket tips over. A tidal wave of thick white paint floods across the floor. The paint spreads out in a perfect, beautiful, and horrifying circle. This next one is a pain I think we can all relate to, but taken to the absolute extreme. We've all been there, distracted, maybe looking at our phone, and we bump into something. But what if that something was a perfectly clean, practically invisible glass door? Our next star learned this lesson the hard way. This isn't just a little bump, this is a full-speed, confident stride straight into a pane of glass he clearly thought wasn't there. We're watching office security footage. A guy in a suit is walking down a hallway, holding a coffee and a stack of papers. He looks important, he looks busy, he looks like he's on a mission. The hallway leads to a set of beautiful, modern, floor-to-ceiling glass doors. They are so spotless, so transparent, they might as well be a portal to another dimension. He doesn't slow down, he's just locked in, heading straight for what he believes is an open doorway. You're watching this, screaming at the screen, "Dude, look up!" But he's in his own world. And then, BAM! He walks directly into the glass. It's not a gentle tap, he hits it with the full force of his stride. His face smushes against the pane, his coffee goes flying in a spectacular arc and the papers explode into the air like confetti at a sad corporate party. If you've ever worked in fast food, you know how chaotic it can be. But you have never, and I mean never, seen chaos like this. This next clip takes the concept of a rush hour to a whole new level. We have a worker at what looks like a burger joint and a conveyor belt that's supposed to gently carry freshly made sandwiches to the packaging station. But a small malfunction turns this food prep line into an out-of-control burger cannon, launching food everywhere. This is fast food gone wild. The video starts normally. A worker is calmly assembling burgers and placing them on a conveyor belt. The belt is moving at a nice, steady pace. Everything is under control. But then you see a flicker. The worker presses a button. And suddenly the conveyor belt lurches forward and accelerates from 0 to 100 in a split second. The worker's face is pure panic. Before he can hit the emergency stop, the burgers reach the end of the line. But instead of stopping gently, they are launched into the air like tiny, edible projectiles. One after another. Lettuce. They're hitting the walls, the ceiling, other employees. It's a full-on food fight, but the only one fighting is the machine. This isn't just fast food, it's projectile food. Safety first, kids! That's the lesson of our next clip. We've all used a ladder before, right? It seems pretty simple. Make sure it's stable. You climb. Well, this next guy decided to skip one of those crucial steps. The result is accidental acrobatics. He looks determined. He unfolds the ladder, but doesn't open it all the way. The locking braces that keep the two sides apart are not engaged. He props it up, thinking, close enough. He confidently starts climbing. As his weight shifts, the legs of the ladder start to slowly, ominously, slide apart. It's like watching a cartoon. The ladder performs a perfect split underneath him. He plummets straight down through the middle. We all love getting packages, right? It's like a little surprise gift. But what happens when your package ends up in the wrong hands? Doorbell camera footage. Delivery van pulls up. Driver hops out with a package. Drops the box on the doormat. House number shows 125. The label on the box reads 123, simple mistake, big consequences. Minutes later, the door opens. Not a person, a golden retriever steps out. He spots the box. Sniffs it, head tilt, decides it's his. Picks up the whole box in his mouth, trots inside. Construction sites are already messy. But this next worker takes it to a whole new level of sloppy. We're talking about a cement mixer, a machine designed to contain and mix one of the messiest substances known to man. There's one very, very important rule when using a cement mixer. Make sure everything is closed and sealed before you turn it on. Our next contestant apparently missed that day of training, because he's about to create a volcanic eruption of wet cement. The clip starts on a sunny day at a construction site. A worker is loading sand, water, and bags of cement into a large industrial mixer. Everything seems normal. He finishes loading the ingredients and walks over to the control panel to fire it up. He flips the switch, and the giant drum of the mixer starts to rotate. The problem is he forgot one tiny crucial step, closing and latching the large hatch on the side of the drum. At first, just a little bit of gray sludge slops out. A torrent of wet, heavy cement starts pouring out of the open hatch with every rotation. It's not a leak, it's a waterfall. Attention to detail is key, especially when you're installing something for the public to see. Like, for example, a giant sign for a new store. You want it to be perfect, right? You want it to be readable. The worker in this next clip had one job: hang the sign. He did it, but he missed one very, very important detail. Imagine a brand new storefront. The paint is fresh. The windows are clean. Worker on a cherry picker hoisting the massive sign above the entrance. Close up, hands guiding the sign. Making sure it's level. Making sure it's secure. Steps back to admire his handiwork. The sign is installed perfectly. It's straight, it's centered, it's secure. It's completely upside down. The letters are all flipped, the logo is inverted. Window washers have a tough job. They're up high, dealing with the elements, keeping our office buildings sparkling. But their job has one main rule: keep the water outside. Filmed from inside a high-rise office. An employee is sitting at their desk, working away. Through the window behind them, you can see a window washer on a platform. Close on his squeegee. Close on his high-powered sprayer. He points the nozzle right at the window and pulls the trigger. A powerful jet of water hits the glass. There must have been a gap or a bad seal, because immediately water starts pouring into the office. It's not a drip, it's a full-on stream, like someone turned on a faucet in the ceiling. The worker leaps out of their chair in shock, looking up at the ceiling in total confusion. Office pranks can be a great way to break up the monotony of the workday, when they go right. When they go wrong, they can create more mess and trouble than they're worth. A worker thinks he's setting up a simple, harmless joke for his coworker, but he severely underestimates the physics involved and ends up creating a massive, powdery explosion. He takes a can of compressed air, the kind you use to clean keyboards, and balances it on a partially open door. The coworker walks in, eyes on his phone. He pushes the door hard. The impact breaks the plastic nozzle off. The can shoots off like a rocket. It slams into the counter. A big bag of flour sits open. Poof! A massive white cloud explodes. A mushroom cloud of fine white powder erupts, covering the entire break room. And that is it. 10 of the most epic, unbelievable, hilarious worker fails ever caught on camera. From the forklift domino disaster to the prank that literally blew up in his face. I told you it was going to be crazy. If you enjoyed watching this absolute chaos, do me a huge favor and destroy that like button. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because you do not want to miss the insane videos we have coming up.